take it away.
All right, and spawning at the bottom right, we have the red sexy player from Kaizi Gaming. Give it up for Innovation.
And his opponent in the upper left, in the blue, at times the best Zerg in the world for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He is Rogue.
All right, a ZVT here on the map of Death Aura. Now, Death Aura, of course, one of the, I would say, popular maps. It has been around for many of seasons. I think it has gone for like at least 3 seasons, because it was kind of carried over from the previous seasons. And so I think a lot of players are very comfortable with it. I wouldn't say this map like heavily favors any race. I mean, I think it's a pretty well designed map there.
That it is. It's actually pretty cool, right? So when we look at this map, you say, okay, well, 3 bases are really easy. 4 bases are really easy. You almost get them for free. And that enables games to go a little bit longer. But then when you take a look at this map a little bit more and you're like, how in the world do I get a 5th base? Right? So it enables games to go a little bit longer so we can get these fully developed macro games, but it becomes that much more difficult to take it even later, to get into split map scenarios, things like that, because defending your first 4 bases and your external bases are that much more difficult. But
Yeah.
of course, who knows whether we're even going to get there. TY might, or Innovation, excuse me, might just dash with a push. We might see Rogue kill someone with a counterattack. I don't know what we're going to see yet, because we don't really have any semblance of really anything discrete at this point. Now, we do know Innovation is on 1 gas at the moment, not 2, so most likely not going to be Cloaked Banshees or some sort of Hellbat play. But it is going to be 1-1-1 for the time being out of the Terran player, and of course, Hatch Gas Pool, 3 base at 3rd base at 28 odd supply. Your standard Zerg build.
Yeah, you know, I feel like one of these players or both of these players are gonna probably go for a more mobility type of army composition. We might see, of course, the standard tank bio from Innovation, and then on the other side with Rogue, I wouldn't be surprised if he went for a Baneling Mutalis, but you do see some players go for just Baneling Hydralisk and Lurkers as well. So we shall see as the game progresses on what tech route Rogue decides to go for.
Absolutely, and you are correct here, Snoopy. On maps like this, mutas do tend to make a little bit more sense, and I do like this from Rogue. He is going to go for Overlord speed behind this, because actually we're seeing a lot of Zergs do this at this point. In part, it's because they delay their speed. The timing used to be, and actually this is something that Solar first started doing. You generally would get you would get enough gas to get speed at 330. Right, that's when speed would finish, and that is the standard timing for, say, a ZBZ. It was just kind of standard timing for everything. Then Solar kind of realized that, wait a minute, I don't really have to deal with anything annoying until about 4 minutes into the game. So what if I delay my gas? And that's what happens. Your speed's going to be a little bit late, but on the flip side, you want to make sure that you have really good scouting, especially because your speed is delayed like that. So you get Overlord speed on top of it. You send the Overlord into the main base. You say, oh, wow, there are things and stuff on the map right now. I know exactly what you're doing. That is okay. So we see the 3rd command center. We see the 1-1-1. That we see that the Viking is out. And that is more than enough information for Rogue to act upon. So we're going to see him just continue to drone on up, realizing that there is no incoming threat. Not really. It's a 3rd base build. We don't see an armory. It's just going to be a bunch of Hellions, which are kind of what you would expect anyways.
Yeah, looks like this initial ragtag group of units gonna go ahead and try to poke in, but of course we'll be greeted with those scary queens. I mean, look at all the spikes coming out of them. They are pretty, let's just say they're not the first thing you want to wake up to when you wake up in the morning. But anyhow, yeah, I do like what Rogue is doing. He's consistently spending those creep. But hold that thought. There is a Hellion run by here, and we'll get a semi-decent surround there with the Lings. But of course, Hellions are very slippery type of units.
That they are. So Baneling Nest on the way. And again, what you were saying earlier, Snoopy, I think you were absolutely correct. We don't see any Evo chambers on the way just yet. And this is a somewhat fast layer. It's not the fastest, obviously. It's not a 2-base layer, but close enough. And there we go. Evo Chambers on the way, but the layer is done, so I do expect to see a Spire come down. That it is. So, Spire's on the way. We get Evo Chambers halfway done. It does mean we will get upgrades at somewhat of a decent time compared to the Terran player, but absolutely Innovation is going to have that 1-1 push versus 0-0. He's going to have that 2-2 push versus 1-1. And we're just going to have to see exactly how much he can make happen with that. But of course, Rogue doing something rather interesting. He's getting that macro hatch rather quickly. Generally, you kind of see that go down a little bit later. But no, Rogue realizing, look, maybe I'm floating a little bit too much. Although that might actually be part of his build. I'm not really sure. But anyway, 1-1's now on the way. Hellion's trying to get something done, but not a whole lot. And of note here, Rogue has done a fantastic job of getting his creep spread out and ready. The Hellions have really not delayed that all that much whatsoever, as we do have the creep spread on top of the first speed zone, getting on up to the ramp for the high ground position for the rich Vespine base. So with all of these things being true, Rogue's pretty happy. It's going to be rather difficult for Innovation to push on into him all that much.
Yeah, I think Rogue is sitting pretty happy. He is getting his centrifugal hooks. That should help if Innovation decides to move out, which it looks like Innovation is. He is sending some units here onto the left side. However, it does get spotted by Rogue's scouterling, and so Rogue is going to go ahead and try to morph some of these banelings here. Is it going to be in time, though? That's the question.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely a problem here for Rogue. Innovation hitting just as those mutas get built, not even as they spawn, but as they go into the production tab. So it's not like Rogue has this opportunity to go on in and say, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of Zerglings or something. No, the larva has been used, the money has been used, so this fourth base will go down, and yes, this run by from Rogue did good work. 9 workers did go down, and maybe more on the way, but the fourth base is dead. And Snoopy, let me tell you about how important keeping the fourth base alive is for the Zerg player. You need that economy, you need that production to make sure that things are possible, and that is one of the benefits of getting a macro hatch that early. You're less dependent on getting the on keeping the fourth base alive. But now the flank coming on in here. The bailing speed is done, of course. 1-1 just about done. Such an anti-timing here for Rogue, but he will be able to clean things up in the exchange. The fourth base, of course, getting started on the 12 o'clock side as well, and that is done. So Rogue, he's going to be very happy. He's going to be incredibly happy about how things have ended up. He killed the army. He didn't really lose a ton. I mean, he lost a base, but that was about it, and he was able to reproduce it immediately. He's got an army lead, he's got upgrade parity, and he has more workers. Absolutely.
Rogue, he is sitting pretty well, solid, but you gotta look at the bird's eye view. He is kind of basically on the same amount of bases as Innovation, which kind of scares me. The thing though is that he is going to get that infestation pit to start getting hive tech, which means maybe possibly brood lords, maybe ultralists. I would imagine ultralists, just because he's already getting melee upgrades. And so, that kind of also helps out the Ultralisk. And it does pretty well in this wide open space. You could get the wrap around with the Ling, and then the Ultralisk can go munching on the Marines there.
Absolutely a healthy, nutritious snack for the Zerg players' afternoon. Bennett playing StarCraft. But you know what, Kozan, I'm just going to... I'm sorry, not Kozan. I'm reading chat and also casting. You know what, Snoopy? There's also something I've seen. I'm going to throw this out there, and I understand it's 99 times out of 100 not going to happen. But what we have seen some players do, particularly Raynor, is he goes into this muta play, and behind that he does drop a Hydra Den, and he does go into Lurker play because it's just so weird. And realistically, you don't need massive upgrades to for Lurkers to really work out. But of course, again, I'm pretty sure that's not what's going to happen here, especially with the continued muta production with the +1 into the mutas. And we're going up to a massive muta count. We're going to go on up to 20 mutas here in this game, and that is going to be an incredibly impactful force, especially with +1 getting done. As the mutas, they're just going to try to get any sort of damage that they can. But Snoopy, even more exciting, look at that third purple upgrade that is on the production tab right now.
Oh, got some burrow action here. I wonder is this going to be for some burrow banelings, or maybe just burrowed for to deny these bases. As you mentioned earlier in this game, it is quite hard to get that 5th and 6th base. So if you can make it even harder by burrowing Lings there, just randomly annoying the Terran by forcing him to use scans, then that's not a bad decision to go for there.
Absolutely. So we have a circling run by. Did it get anything done? No, it looks like it did pull back. Meanwhile, of course, these mutas are getting fantastic damage done indeed. And you know, it's kind of funny, right? Because for the longest time, you would never see more than like one missile turret a base get built by these top tier Terran players up until rather recently. And then, but you know, if you're playing in Diamond and Masters and Gold or whatever, you'll see like 20 turrets and they don't take any damage from the mutas. So it is interesting to see now innovation getting, and players like TY, the top tier Terran players, getting like 5 or 6 missile turrets a base with their spare minerals. Oh, but there we go. Looks like we got a flank attempted coming on in here. And one Trader Widowmon is actually going to do a fantastic job. But how many Banelings do we have on the map? Only 18. But oh, yeah. So Rogue just busy microing these mutas at the moment. Innovation not really carrying. I mean, he just pulls back for the moment. So we will have the Banelings running on in and getting somewhat decent connections here. But the Army of Innovation does still stand strong as he splits and free splits on creep. But more and more of the army of Rogue is going to look to take the engagement, but he's just going to back up. He says, look, I don't really think that I have what I need quite yet. My flank is not properly set up yet. I'm going to have to back up. And
someone's lagging, though.
Yeah,
okay, Enki.
Oh, no.
He's, of course, our Spanish caster. So hopefully his thing isn't too bad, and he comes back right back here without any problems. But yeah, this we do have a lot of other casters. We have the French stream, the Spanish stream, the Korean stream, and then of course of the English stream here.
Yep. The Korean servers are being a bit rude to outsiders recently. That is true. North American servers also being having just massive lobby bugs during the most recent Stay at Home Story Cup. We didn't want servers anyways, right?
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Game paused.
Okay, it looks like Enki unfortunately left the game here. We will go ahead and get straight back into this game. It's a very important phase in this game, as Innovation is going to go ahead and try to crush this army here at the left side. But so much of Banelings, actually, majority of the Banelings has a little bit more lag here coming from someone.
Game paused.
A lot of lag issues today, unfortunately. Is something happening?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Something happening with the Korean server today, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have 400 milliseconds to this, but my ping doesn't matter.
Oh, thank you. By the way, Reality doing a subscription, tier 1 subscription. They Reality been subscribed for 19 months. What a beast! Thank you, appreciate it for supporting the channel and the team on this level.
Absolutely, we very much do appreciate it, and it is really unfortunate, right, with how this is going, especially in the context of what's happening in this game right now, because, well, I mean, it's splitting against Banelings. You need absolutely the optimal thing for that. There we go. So it looks like we don't have a slideshow anymore. The game is actually happening as it should be. Banelings will come filtering on past the Marauders, trying to make connections with the Marines as much as they can, and it looks like the Army of Innovation here, now that Rogue can actually do what he's looking for. Well, the first army is going to get cleaned up, but now we have the rally coming on in. Innovation with a minor supply lead. Now, of course, he is only on 2-2. 3-3 is not there yet, but 3-3 is done in 14 seconds. Innovation needs to back up for the time being to make sure that he can actually take advantage of this. And the one upside for the fight that Innovation just took, most of the mutas did go down. We only have 4 mutas left on the map instead of the 20 that were previously there. 3+3 attack is done, +3 armor will be done now. Trader Widowmine is going to do something, but not enough here. Innovation, he's going to get back to his bases. Rogue's rally will not be able to kill him just now, but the game, Snoopy, it will go on.
Yeah, and the thing is, Rogue really didn't need to overwhelm Innovation there. He didn't need to win the game right there. He still saved his base, the hatchery that was under fire. He still has whopping 97 drones. My goodness, I would say that's even a bit too much. This Widowmine drop might actually lower it, but look at that reaction time, immediately pulling the drones there. And you know what? He's working his way up to Ultralist tech, getting that Ultralisk upgrade as well to make them even beefier. And so Rogue right now, all he needs to do is just sit back, sit pretty, and build up his army.
That he does. Now, innovation, he does have a Ghost Academy on the way, so he is getting further on into his deck here, but look at this. Now, we don't have Crack yet, so these are just 2/2 Zerglings. As actually, no, we do have Crack, never mind. So that base will be forced to lift, will be forced to cancel on the planetary. But innovation, you know, I see someone in chat saying, oh yes, Rogue is dominating. Oh, that base goes down? What?
Oh, no.
That was unexpected. Okay, now Rogue is dominating. I was gonna say, yeah, Rogue dominating, you know, up 2 bases is what chat was saying there. But now innovation had the extra commands and she's placing them now. But by losing that base, that is a bit of a problem here. Now, of course, these Widow Mines not going to get a whole lot done here. Baneling's manually detonating upon them because all that matters is that they go down. Now, this left base should get up, but a big issue is the entire army of Rogue is on the right-hand side here. Baneling's going to come filtering on into the SCV. 6 workers go down. Actually, I thought it was going to be more than that. We're going to have to see now whether Rogue can take the cost-effective trades that he's looking for, as the rally, well, that will not clean this up.
Yeah, meanwhile, there is a counterattack. We'll finally maybe take out that hatchery. No, it still survives. A transfuse for good measure to keep it alive even more. But more of the rest of the reinforcement has joined up. And here we go. Another huge surround by Rogue. Let's see if these Banelings can connect with the Marines. These Marines are just fleeing it to back all the way to the back, trying to save their life. Meanwhile, the drop here into the main base by innovation. But Rogue has such great army position. He is going to defend this without any problems.
Absolutely. The Marines do find their way back home onto the planetary, but now Ultras are going to find their way on top of the SCVs as well as a couple Banelings. So yeah, it looks like the base won't go down, but 10 more workers do go down here, and of course more money has to be spent in preparing things. But ooh, that's gonna be a nice Widow Mine shot there. How many Banelings did that kill? 12 Banelings from that one Widow Mine. That's kind of crazy. But oh man, look at this. This is pretty cool. So we do see now the time of the mutas is done. We will have Ghost out rather soon. Bunch of Widow Mines on the map. 3/3 bio, of course. All of these things do mean that mutas, they're not all that useful. Right, so what do you do if you're an enterprising Zerg player that wants to get something done as that base will get killed, not canceled? You get a bunch of Corruptors and you just knock down everything from the skies, whether they will eventually be Liberators, whether they will be Medevacs, whatever the case. You just knock them all down. And that is that nice place here from Inno once again, but the creep is so far forward here from Rogue. And the question really now is just whether the Widow Mines, or excuse me, the Banelings will make the connections that they are looking to. Ultra's getting on top of things on the right-hand side. Corruptor's just diving on top of every single Medevac. Says, haha, no healing for you whatsoever. And that is going to decrease the longevity of this Terran army so significantly. And look at this. It's now a 30 supply lead for our Zerg player, and it's not all in army, or not all in economy, although just now, never mind, it is.
Let's take a look at the units lost tab here. A little bit more minerals lost by the Zerg player as well as the gas. But again, he can't afford to lose more resources because of the crazy economy that he has throughout this whole game. He's still sticking out here at the 98, 99 worker count, which is pretty insane. But here we go. This is another huge attack here onto the right side. But is it enough? Some of these queens lagging behind though. But these Ultra is doing massive damage output.
Yeah, the big deal, of course, is there's just no healing there, right? So, like, the bio, if there were a couple of Medevacs in the sky, it might work out, but because there's no healing, the bio cannot stand strong, and GG, Rogue is going to take game number 1 in 17 minutes.
Yeah, what a game number 1 to start off this series with. Hope you guys made the correct predictions earlier on. Actually, wait, what was the prediction? Oh, prediction result is Rogue wins. Looks like 58% this predicted Rogue would have won, while 42 predicted innovation. So the majority of the of our viewers did, it seems, predict the correct choice.
Absolutely. And now I love how we see a little bit dicey in chat saying, "Oh yeah, I think this game is Terran favored like 2 minutes ago." Right, pretty much at the moment where it swung on in to Rogue's favor for good. So a little bit dicey. Appears to have jinxed innovation in this game. Poor man.
poor innovation.
But now game 2 will be on what was it? Was it Oxide?
Mm-hmm.
So game 2 will be on Oxide as soon as our players load on in. Man, if we're lobby bugged again, I'm going to be...
Seems like it.
Apparently, but it's not Quarzy this time. It's not Quarthy this time.
It's either Enki or... It's probably either Enki or... Oh, never mind. Looks like we got the lobby up and loaded. Make sure you guys do the voting right now. We're going to close the voting poll before this match or the second game goes underway. Also, make sure to head on to the match Reno, enter those coupon codes. Let's use up all these coupon codes and make sure all the money goes to our players and help them out. And of course, if you want to purchase the replay pack, that's also available at the marketplace at Matcherino.
Sure, and absolutely. On top of that, if you just want every replay that exists, if you sub to this channel, you'll get access to all the replays that do exist. Now, I don't remember whether that is what tier of sub you have to be for that. I believe it's probably just tier 1, and then of course you get access to the replay channel and Discord, just like anyone who subscribes through Patreon. So, you want a bunch of replays? Sub to the channel.
All right, looks like we're having players confirm if they're ready or not. Looks like Rogue is ready, Innovation is ready, and here we go. Countdown has begun. We're heading to game number 2 on Oxide LE with a 1-0 lead here for our Zerg player in Rogue. Let's see if Innovation can bring this series back and tie up the series to force a third and decisive game.
Well, you know, Snoopy, this is Oxide. This is probably one of the most Terran favorite maps in the pool. When we're talking about TVZ, it's Oxide, it's Submarine. Those are the spooky ones. So, Innovation, hopefully he's going to have something up his sleeve here. We're going to have to see exactly what he's looking for as we're trying to get loaded on in to this game. I'm kind of stuck at game starting 0, but I'm still on the screen, so I'm not exactly sure what's up with that.
Oh, no.
There we go. Now we're good.
Okay, all right, awesome. Yeah, sometimes, you know, I wonder, like, 10 or so years into this game, and we're still having technical issues in this game. You would think that a game like this would have been refined by now, so that there's like less problems.
Nah, small indie company, no complaining.
All right, looks like game is almost pretty much loaded. Let me go ahead and update the scoreboard here, and here we go. BeoMulf, take it away.
Absolutely. Spawning in the upper left, the upper right, in the red. He is, of course, Machine, the red Terran player for Kaiser Gaming, up or down 1-0 in this best of 3. He is Innovation.
All right, and spawning here at the bottom left side, and somebody in the chat asking if this is live or replay. This is live. Anyhow, spawning in this bottom left corner of the map is the blue Zerg player, 1 game away from clinching the series. Can he do it? From Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it is Rogue.
Absolutely. But yeah, small indie company, Snoopy. No complaints here. Game is still in beta. Wait, never mind. Those are the wrong memes for the wrong game.
Yeah, wrong game.
Anyway, got game 2 loaded on up. What do you think we're gonna see from Innovation in this game?
You know what? This is a much more chokier game in terms of the bases, although it's pretty wide open in the middle. So I mean, it could really go either way. But I would say that similar to let's say the last map, the third, fourth, pretty easy to get. But then, of course, once you go to the 5th and 6th and you go to the left and right, it gets a little bit more difficult. Although I still say that it's probably easier compared to the Deathora to get your 5th and 6th. So I don't quite know or have any predictions of what these players are going to go for this game. How about you? Do you have any predictions?
No, I was hoping you'd give me something to talk about, Snoopy.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah. That's a weird map, right? Because on the one hand, yes, it does feel a little bit easier to take your 4th base, your 5th base. But on the flip side, as this is a very... Wait, was this... We have a spawning... Never mind, it's not 3 HP 4 pool, but this is still a very quick third base here from Rogue. Very similar to the ZVP build that a lot of Koreans will do. Will get the 19th third base. And this is in part, well, this is primarily to deal with the fact that, of course, Reapers will show up very early on the map in this point. And actually, wait, no, that's why Rogue. Did Rogue open spawning pool first? Okay.
Yep.
So Rogue opened pool first in this game. Not exactly sure why, especially considering we don't have any early Zerglings. I guess maybe he was worried about a bunker rush on this map, and I wanted to make sure he could get his spines, queens, Zerglings, whatever out ASAP.
Yeah, this is quite a large map, so it's not too uncommon to see any proxies coming from the Terran. So I don't mind the quick hatch, the quick pull there to get the faster queen and the links to help defend any potential proxies.
Yeah, but anyway, we're talking about this map a little bit. Yeah, the 4 bases, 5 bases seem somewhat easy to take, and for a player like for a Terran player, for a Protoss player, they are. But you also got to remember that the rush distance on this map, especially when you knock the rocks down between the second and the linear third on both sides, it's actually a really fast rush distance. The Terran can resupply pretty quickly. So it becomes a bit of a problem there for the Zerg player, especially with all these doodads surrounding the outlying bases. And I do like that from Rogue here, right? He has taken the triangular third, and what that means is he will be able to spread creep around these doodads that cause so many tank push issues that much faster than he otherwise normally would. So when innovation inevitably comes on in with the tank push, if he decides to do that, the creep will be around that, and it will be that much easier for Rogue to actually clear it away. Now, whether he will succeed in that idea, who knows? But it does give him that little bit of a better shot at doing so.
Yeah, you make a great point. It does help with the creep spread. However, I have to give credit where credit is due. Innovation has been doing a pretty good job denying some of these creep tumors. I think he's taking out like 3 or 2 creep tumor thus far. So it's kind of slowing it down. Of course, Rogue has plenty of queens, so that's probably not going to slow him down as this game goes on. But looks like Innovation is going to potentially dive in here. No, it looks like he's going to back out just in the last second as the queens make his way into position. So all in all, a pretty standard game here to start off this game number 2.
Yep, absolutely. And Innovation already has a third base on location here. It is mining. This will, of course, be scouted by Rogue. But interestingly enough, Snoopy, it does appear that the pull first with like 2 Zerglings and speed, not doing anything else with it, is just something that Rogue does. Apparently he did it against Bjorn earlier on today as well. So the more you know. But we're gonna have to see exactly what happens here. Of course, layer is halfway done. We do have 1 Evo chamber on the way. Hopefully, we're gonna see 2. Although there is, of course, the thing that Koreans do occasionally, where they only get +1 carapace, and then they get +1 attack a little bit later on. But now we'll be double Evo there. And what we're looking for at this point is just where exactly is Rogue going with this? Does he go mutas? Does he go lurkers? Considering the fact that this is most likely going, considering the layer timing here, it's most likely going to be mutaplay once again. And this is a bit more interesting of a map to do it on. It's not a no-brainer. I'm always going to go mutas like it is on Death Aura. In fact, lurkers tend to be pretty good here because of how the Terrans push, but maybe Rogue just likes playing mutas at this point. Not really sure.
You know what? I have to agree with you. I would also like to see Rogue go for mutalist, mainly because this map is pretty good for mutalist. You fly in between that main and third base of the Terran with the third airspace, and because he did take the third at the triangular position, it makes the mutalist easier to harass both bases compared to if Innovation went for that 12 o'clock third base. But anyhow, we do see a little bit of a push here by Innovation. Some of these Bane lanes are finishing morphing in. There's a nice wraparound in the back here with these lanes. Gonna get a nice little surround. And well done there by Rogue. Defends this pretty well.
Absolutely. Now, what I do find interesting, of course, is we don't have any tech. It is just 1-1. It is just Zergling tech, right? It's Bailey speed 1-1 Burrow. So what this tells me is this will most likely be Lurker Tech actually coming on in here, despite the layer timing and the relative upgrade timings. And Innovation, he's going to be pretty happy with this, I think, right? He's going to have that upgrade lead against pure Zergling, a Pureling Bane, and that's an upgrade lead that is lasting for quite a while. So normally when you're going Pureling Bane, you're looking As nice catch there from Rogue will knock out the base. Normally what you're looking there is you're looking to have at least upgrade parity, maybe even an upgrade lead when you're going pure Ling Bane against Bio. Now, considering the fact that Innovation does have this upgrade lead, he's going to be pretty happy with this. But, of course, there are tons and tons of Banelings, and not a lot of splash. It's only one tank. So these Banelings are going to be able to get a lot done, and this run-by from Rogue is fantastic. Now, that Bio is going to slip backwards here. Banelings are going to try to get on top of things. The tank's not really getting the shots they want off, but now all the now all the Banelings are dead, but Innovation, he will be forced back.
Yeah, it looks like we did see 11 SCVs going down. So a total of actually that's the only 11 SCVs gone that has gone down in this game. 0 drones here, as really Innovation hasn't been able to find any damage in the early game. But you know, as he played this game out, all in all, he's still in a pretty decent position. I mean, he does have the overall supply lead. He has a massive army supply lead as well, and so he can actually go ahead and push here forward. Let's hold that thought though. There is a Ling run by. Once again, Rogue doing such a nice job doing those economic harass, going for the back door. But as you can see, Innovation is starting to build that wall of China there at the third base. But Ling burrowed will go ahead and reveal him from the underground, as the Undertaker would do.
It looks like we also have Rogue knocking out a lot of the rally of Innovation here, as will eventually get taken out. But 11 more workers do go down, as you said. And now Innovation losing 22 workers. He's maybe not too happy with this. And, you know, it's funny, which we do have the seconds factory on the way, of course. Realizing that this is most likely going to be Lurker Tech. I cast the GSL qualifiers. Actually, hold that thought. We do have a massive engagement coming on in here. Bailing's looking to connect with the Marines, and the Marines only. And will they be successful? It looks like they will kind of, but there is enough rally here to push on forward. Innovation with the splits. And of course, it's a quick rush distance. The rally should be able to get further and further, but there are more Banelings on the map. Where that came from, the tanks are firing from the high ground, from the low ground. The first tank will be taken out, but the second one will stay alive. And in the game of tug of war, it looks like Innovation is slowly getting pushed back.
All right, looks like he is going to go ahead and dive in here once more. And oh, nice connections here at the front lines. Tank will, the last remaining tank that does go down. Oh, actually, never mind. There is one more tank in here in the backside. But all in all, Rogue does hold. Loses this. I think it was a better trade though for Innovation. It was a bit more efficient, I would say. And now, you know, Innovation he's got the upgrade lead. He's got the 2-2 versus the 1-1 of Rogue. Now, the 2-2 is about to finish, but Innovation has already started his 3-3. So, for the time being, Innovation is going to go ahead and enjoy the upgrade lead momentarily for the next couple of minutes. And, ooh, nice little cheeky one Link Burrow play there.
Absolutely. You know, I'm kind of surprised, actually, that Innovation did not take that fight more handily, because it was the 2-2 versus 1-1 timing, and he did have a decent amount of tanks. Now, I keep looking at the production tab of Rogue, and I keep expecting to see a Hydrogen going down. The longer it lasts, I think we're just seeing Ling Bane into Ultra, is what we're going to see here. And that jives with kind of how I think of as Rogue as a player, but I'm just kind of surprised we're seeing that, just considering how strong Ling Bane into Lurkers appears to be. So we're gonna have to see what happens with that. And well, you know, I was gonna say, wow, man, I'm surprised Innovation doesn't just get 5. Well, or a better way to say that is, I cast GSL qualifiers recently. Cure was playing against a Zerg player, I forget who it was, and when he saw his Lurker play, he just went 5 factory. Like, he just threw down 5 factories on top of the one that he already had, and just built 5-6 tanks at a time. So it seems very successful. Once he, of course, was on the 4-5 basis. But that's not, of course, not what Inno is doing here. And yeah, this drop is absolutely going to be shut on down.
Yeah, it looks like we're heading into the later stages of this game. We're approaching the 12-minute mark, and both these players are almost taken their half side of the base. Although we do see Innovation does have I guess one more base, of course, because Zerg usually have an extra base or 2 ahead of their opponent of the opposite race. But yeah, it looks like we're headed into the very late stage of this game, and as you can see reflected in the production, as there's the Ultralisk, then the Vipers, that is the tier 3 late game army right there.
That it is, and 3-3 on the way as well. Do we have no cracklings just yet, but this is the important thing. We do have Vipers on the way. Actually, Vipers done here for Rogue. And I like that a lot. Even if it was just bio, I would like that a lot. Because, of course, being able to just drop Blinding Clouds on the bio, well, it forces them to micro backwards. They can't really take the fight they're looking for. It's actually surprisingly effective. Also, of course, Parasitic Bombs on Widowmines are nice. Now, this drop on the right-hand side, not going to get anything done. Banelings will get absolutely a full connection here. And I'm not paying attention, but that is not the scary thing in this army. It is the fact that there are, what is that, like 7 tanks showing on up. Now, the Blinding Clouds are going to be nice, but most of the tanks, they're not even sieged on up. Now they're getting out of the Blinding Cloud. We'll siege on up here. And Innovation, suddenly, he is up 50 total supply. He's doubled the army supply of his opponent. He has better upgrades. He has a better tech. The Banelings are going to get targeted down immediately. GG Innovation. He's going to tie up the series. We're going to game 3.
Yeah, what a very awkward, kind of ugly engagement there. The last huge engagement there. Rogue kind of, kind of spulling his units in the line. Was not going to organize in that attack. And so with the disarray, just wasn't able to get some great trades there, and Innovation was basically going to overwhelm Rogue, so he tapped out, and so we're headed into a game number 3, tied series 1-1.
Yep, and Innovation taking that second game. Absolutely. Also, shout out, of course, to Geralt, who showed up in chat. Hello, Geralt. Long time to say. Okay, of course. Geralt is nominally my teammate, casting on Alpha X a lot, but I am on Team Exxon, so seeing that happens, hanging out with Geralt's always fun, even if the man is like orders of magnitude better than I am. It's kind of funny. When you look at things, you're like, wow, I'm a master player, I'm top 2% worldwide, and then you look at the difference between you and a pro player, you're like, that's like the difference between me and someone who has never played the game before.
Yeah.
So it's always a little bit sobering when you look at it like that. But anyways, we got game number 2. Innovation won the game that he was supposed to. Rogue won the map that he was supposed to. And now, Romanticide will be our 3rd game in this series. As soon as we get everything loaded on in. Do you have any expectations about this game?
Let's see here. Well, I would say not too much of a prediction, because both these players I feel like are pretty even in terms of skill level currently. Or maybe Innovation not having the greatest results as of late, but he's still like, there's a reason why he's still considered one of the top 3 Terrans, 3 or 4 Terrans out there. And he has been at the top Terran in Korea for quite some time, many years. I think the past almost a decade or so. So, he can still win a game or a series or a match here and there. So on paper, I will give the edge to Rogue, although I would say that Innovation has very close to 50-50 chance to winning as well. So no predictions. I just want a great game here in this last decisive game.
Absolutely. And of course, our players are loaded in. And here we are spawning in the upper left in the red, the machine from Kaiser Gaming. He is Innovation.
And spawn here at the bottom right. He is the blue Zerg player, hailing from Korea, playing for the team of Dragon Phoenix Gaming, and looking to close out this series with a win, a victory. Can he do it? It is a Rogue.
And of course, for those of you just tuning on in, it is Rogue versus Innovation. We do have, you can see that, but we do have TY and Zest as well. This is 7 best of 3s. We're in the second one right now. And then we'll be playing TY Innovation, Rogue Zest, TY Rogue, Zest Innovation. Top 2 will go on in and play a best of 5 for the top prizing. And of course, I am BeoMulf. With me is Snoopy on in here in this 3rd game of the series. As the 2Rex, it's going to get scouted. Now, here's the question. How does Innovation react to this? Does he cancel? Does he cancel the second barracks? Does he just fly home? Or says, look, committed too much to this. I'm just going to go full send, and we're going to see exactly what happens. Not really sure, especially considering these barracks are really far away. Oh, man, that's really cool. That is so big brained there. Of course, the 2 SCVs are enough to mine out one of the walls of this mineral line.
Wow. That is pretty smart, actually. Yeah. I was about to say, like, these racks are pretty long. Although taking out the minerals, it does make it a bit shorter, but still, I would say it's still pretty long. But yeah, Rogue does scout this pretty early, so I would expect that he should be able to defend this a bit easier to compare to if he did not or was not able to scout this early on.
That is true, but man, that's actually a really nice bunker positioning there. Should it be able to go on up? But the big question, though, is how much does Rogue lose? Rogue has lost absolutely nothing at this point, so that is fantastic. Generally, you lose a couple of drones as that happens. And there we go. The first drone will go on down, but it looks like, oh no, the SCVs are dead. So the bunker, as close as it was to completing, it's not going to happen. None of these bunkers will complete whatsoever, not unless more SCVs are brought on in. And that is just never going to happen. But what these bunkers do provide with their positioning is a choke. It does mean that the Zerglings cannot really engage on into it. And of course, more and more Marines on the way here. Innovation, he's not stopping with this, right? He has not given up and gone home just yet. So he is trying to hit this critical mass of just having enough Marines that the Zerglings won't be able to take the fight. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. Now, of course, notice Rogue here, he's not spending any energy on injects, not spending any energy on creep spread. He is just spending that money so he can transfuse. There we go. One transfuse will go on down. One more transfuse remains. And looks like Innovation really should not be able to get a whole lot done here. Actually, Rogue realizes this fact and says, okay, now I'm just going to get more and more Zerglings. But look at this. An SCV joins. And now the bunker's going to go on up. Marines are going to find their way on into it. And this is actually so big. Now, of course, there is no SCV to make sure that it is repaired. But oh, that was just enough. That actually might be game ending. That might be game ending here. The drones are going to get pulled on once again. One queen will go on down. Second queen going down as well. The army of innovation still here, and that 3-minute SCV is going to win the game for innovation.
Oh my goodness,
that was so good.
That was amazing. I mean, innovation had no business winning that game, but you know what? With the right execution. Because it all comes down to execution. You can scout all you want, but it all comes down to execution. And Rogue, unfortunately, was not able to defend. Innovation will win the series 2-1.